As we all know, Lionhead Studios was recently closed and the long in development Fable Legends was cancelled, and apparently that particular game was a controversial project that quote-unquote nobody wanted to work on, and this is according to a detailed report on Lionhead's closure done by Eurogamer. Now, they spoke with several sources close to Lionhead and detailed in depth about how Fable Legends actually not only contributed to the downfall of Lionhead, but also kept them from making the game they really wanted to make, which was Fable 4. Apparently, Microsoft spent a shocking $75 million on Fable Legends before they decided enough was enough, and a source close with the project said that Lionhead knew, quote, internally that the game wasn't incredibly fun and lacked features that a free-to-play game should have. Still, Fable Legends continued trucking on, even though people working on the game expressed disinterest, and of course had several delays, and player feedback wasn't great, and all of that. It still continued. Now, a source said, quote, people were happy that Legends was coming to a close. We never really expected Legends to last a long time, but we never expected them to cancel it. Now, of course, as we know, even though the game was almost done, Microsoft pulled it before the open beta launch, and apparently some of the factors cited as contributing to the eventual cancellation of the project included the high production cost, the constant delays, and lack of player interest, as well as the fact that the production costs were inflated by oversized elements added into the game, at least according to sources. These same sources also said that some employees at the company wanted to work on a new, more traditional Fable game instead. Lionhead had planned to begin work on Fable 3, that's not a thing, Fable 4, following the release of Legends, so basically they had the rug pulled out from under them in that regard as well. Instead, what happened is, of course, Lionhead was closed, Legends was cancelled, and Microsoft is steadfastly hanging on to the Fable IP. Some even tried to save the Fable Legends IP, as I've said. Some wanted to finish the game that was so close to being completed, but Microsoft has said that the Fable IP is not for sale and will remain in Microsoft's control, at least for the foreseeable future. And ex-Lionhead members have begun to migrate to other things and other studios, and it seems that while Fable 4 might eventually happen at some point, it's not going to be done by the guys at Lionhead. So basically, they wanted to make Fable 4, but were made to make Fable Legends instead. They didn't find the game they were making fun. It was constantly delayed, revamped multiple times, player interest wasn't great, even developer interest wasn't great, and obviously the product, even close to completion, was not good enough to release, even after spending $75 million. I'm sure if Microsoft had what they felt was a workable product, they probably would have released it, but the fact they didn't kind of speaks volume as to maybe the problems that were happening with development, and the fact that the guys making it just weren't interested. They would rather be making Fable 4 or other projects instead. So it's sad we're not going to be seeing Fable 4 made by Lionhead anytime soon. It's going to be made by someone else if it gets made at all, and the hopes we had of Fable Legends being resurrected or the Fable IP being sold on to someone else, well, that was merely a pipe dream as well, unfortunately. As I said, this is all part of a rather detailed report done by Eurogamer. It will be linked in the description below. I suggest you give it a read if you want to read more. There is a ton more information I haven't touched on, so I suggest you check it out. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.